AI is a kind of cultural map maker. So you mentioned that you work with organizations that value human dignity, and long-term trust feels especially relevant here. So technology and AI systems in particular are trained in our culture, and in doing so, they reflect and sometimes exaggerate our collective values. So my first question to you is, from your experience helping companies build ethical digital strategies, how do you see AI acting as this cultural map maker? Do you see it mirroring who we are? Does it sometimes distort that reflection? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. And using, I like the word is cultural map maker, because then, we started from the data bias. So how we've been influencing culturally the AI models, but then the AI models are responding to us in a way that maybe there's an algorithmic bias there. Maybe there are, some other reasons that will also shape our behavior and our cultural beliefs. They will have an influence. So it becomes a cybernetic loop where we're providing some information to the AI. The AI is telling us something back, and it's influencing culturally and our behavior as well. So most models will tend to please the person that is interacting with them. So trying to respond in a way that is culturally aligned. There are some studies. I know there's a study that has been aligning the models with the World Cultural Value Map, and has been finding out that most major models will tend to respond in a Western white type of cultural framework, leaving out a lot of different points of views. There's an MIT Sloan School study that has been analyzing some aspects of cognitive activity and cultural-based activity. And they were, for example, prompting the models with different languages, such as English and Chinese. And the responses that they were getting, they were reflective of cultural components. So when asked, for example, to create, if I remember that right, it was an advertising campaign for an insurance company, a hypothetical advertising campaign for an insurance company. And even the responses will slightly change. If the question was asked in English, they will have something like "to protect you," reflecting a sort of individual kind of oriented culture. And when it comes to the same question asked in Chinese, you will get a response such as "will protect your family," because there's a lot more importance on, family ties, social relationships
Yeah.
in the Chinese culture. But that alone is showing how there's a cultural influence in the response that the AI has been giving you. Where does that come from? Could that be because that's the kind of input they got from material written in Chinese versus material written in English? That would be a data bias. But is that because of the weights that they've been acquiring the models from English and Chinese? That would be an algorithmic bias. Is that because it matches the language? There's different sources for that bias, but
Right.
but that happens. It's a culturally mediated bias, right? It's trying to align to your cultural views, and it's absolutely impossible to be completely detached from the cultural perspective. But we need to be mindful as, wait a second, I'm not talking to a machine that is neutral. It's a machine that is learning from us and is returning something to us, and we need to pay attention. And for example, one technique that is often used to try and gather different points of views, it will be to prompt the machine, asking the model, can you reply now as somebody from China, somebody from the US, a white female, an African American man, trying to gather the same responses from different points of view, and seeing how those cultural influences may be introduced back in the machine responses, in the AI model responses.